SS Gentleman, Dean Alejandro here, and today I'm going to vlog about something that is very close to my heart, very vulnerable of me. As you know, I often do talk about vulnerable things, but this is something that I've kind of been stuck with for a while and have posted about here and there and have even vlogged about in the past. I had really no idea what was going on. I kind of knew I was stuck in like this weird cycle of depression and anxiety and a lot of pressure of different things, but I was never able to put two and two together, although I knew it was right in front of me and on the tip of my tongue. So I'm kind of just going to go ahead and dive into it. I did a post briefly a couple weeks ago about this, but I just wanted to go ahead and also vocally get it out because one, that makes me feel better, and two, a lot of people respond to that differently and aren't on my Facebook page. So I have been stuck in like this weird cycle of depression and feeling like that I am not like imposter syndrome, but I kind of feel like not on the same level as everyone else in my transition community, I guess, right? So when I first started my content, I obviously started doing it to talk about my transition and to show those physical changes. If you haven't seen it, there's a whole playlist. I've done it every month prior to starting testosterone, and also doing it every month since then. And I focused on my physical changes, my mental changes, how social changes happened, and how different people interacted with me. And it was really cool to go ahead to do that. But after time started passing, there's less transitional things to update. So of course I was able to go ahead and update different things as my life, and obviously I always have a lot going on, so I've been able to update that. But other than like surgeries and transition related things, I really kind of hit a wall with that. And it really didn't hit me until a couple weeks ago when I had this epiphany where I felt like I didn't know what content I was supposed to put out there. I felt like me being vulnerable and just me being me wasn't enough. Like, I felt like I should be talking about trans-related things all the time, educating people, being an advocate more so, doing things locally, and kind of just doing more. And I've done a lot of giveaways, I've done a lot of different support programs, but I still have felt empty. As weird as that may sound, like I still felt like I had this huge void that I needed to fill, and I didn't know how. Now, I've managed to keep a really good balance between my personal life and my platform, because that is just something that you have to do when you are a creator or an influencer. If not, it will take over your life. Not to get into this subject a whole lot, because I will do it in another video, but doing content is a full-time job. If you do not have a balance, it will take over your life. It disrupts almost all of your peace, and you get into this cycle, whether you're collaborating or in contracts or not, where you have to put out content. What's the next thing that you're going to put out? When are you going to post it? Blah, 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 blah. So when you get in those different rhythms of stuff, it's hard to post stuff vulnerably. Me personally, not so much, because I've always done that. I've always not censored anything. But it puts a lot of pressure on you, and you're constantly thinking, what is the next thing that I can do? What do people need? Depending on what your values are, you're going to want to try to put out different things content-wise. Me personally, as you know, I'm very vulnerable. I like to be very transparent. Anyone who reaches out to me, I like to talk to you on a name-by-name basis, like very personal. I run all my pages 100% myself. I keep it 100% confidential. Like, my brand or whatever is just different than other people. So I've hit this kind of like road where I'm conflicted between doing content and not, because I know my content is 100% different, but I feel invalidated by myself because everything that I'm posting out is not transition related. So where am I going with this? I have been stuck in a loop of content that I think I should be posting, being pressured by different people. I won't say in my circle, because that's not what it is personally, but in my community. And then on top of other things in order to, I guess, get by. And I was not growing. I was in this endless cycle of not growing, not being happy. I knew that something was right in front of me, but I felt like my growth was like stunted. And for the longest time, I was trying to figure out why. What is this? What is going on? I have an idea. It's like right there. And the more I tried to search for it, the further away I got from it. So I basically gave up. And there's like so many different parts that go into this. I had a lot of issues with my hormones, like I have been for the past couple years, and I've had to just adjust that. Like I said, I'll post that in a different video because it's talking about different methods of testosterone and changing. But sorry, this is really difficult to post. So I was in the circle of not growing because I knew something was better, but I couldn't find out what it was, right? And I had this epiphany a couple weeks ago where I did not realize I wasn't growing because I was putting these limitations on myself. In a month, I will be 4 years on testosterone. This month, probably 4 years since I came out and started transitioning. And usually I would be excited, right? I'd be like, wow, here's my 4 years since this, here's this since this. And I realized the more I was documenting or celebrating or, talking about those transitional changes, which is what started this channel, I felt like a prisoner. Like, I felt like that's all that I was. Like, I used to tell people, okay, well, I've been on testosterone for 2 years, so I'm basically like a 2-year-old and then going through puberty, right? And we all have these changes starting testosterone. And whether you medically transition or not, you still are going to go through changes. So I realized, and I've done a lot of reflecting and I've been to a lot of therapy about this too to come to this conclusion. Like, I realized that I was trying to fill the void that, like, I was. And I'm not that person anymore. 4 years ago when I came out and when I started taking tea, some of my values were different. A lot has changed. And that's normal. We change a lot, obviously. So, and this is going to sound really dumb, but I kind of felt like I made that transition from trans boy to, like, trans man, whatever that means. But I realized that who the fuck cares? Like, who cares if you're 1 month on hormones? Like, it's great for us to, like, celebrate it, like, to ourselves, but it becomes a part of our identity. And I really want to know if anyone, like, watches this and actually, like, resonates with this, because as time has passed, and it's only happened the past, like, 2 years, I've noticed, okay, this is my 5th year. I should be having these changes. This is what I should be expecting. This is da-da-da-da-da. And that is all based on someone else's interpretation or someone else's experience that they have gone through, depending on what their doctor says, depending on what their body chemistry is, depending on what their hormone levels are, depending on what their intake is, and how there are so many different factors that come to that, and that's why I've always said everyone's transition is different. 100%. And that's what I kind of piggybacked off. So I realized that I wasn't growing because I was trying to fill the dreams of someone from a couple years ago, and that person doesn't exist anymore. That's what it is. And honestly, it's okay. We change, we adapt. So I had this realization where I was just like, I'm done. That's it. It's over. I'm fucking done with this. And I had months where I thought and almost decided I'm going to stop taking hormones. My imbalance is pretty crazy. I don't know what's going to happen, especially if I get a hysterectomy. I'm going to have to go through the whole battle again. And realistically, I'm tired. I've been going up and down with my hormones for 4 years. I've had PCOS for a long time prior to that, and I kind of accepted that my hormones are going to be all over the place. So it felt kind of dumb for me to say I've been on hormones for this amount of time when I feel like I haven't been getting those consistent changes. So all of these things together led me to realize, fuck myself in the kindest way possible. Fuck this. and fuck all the goals and fuck all the ideas of everyone else. I'm not limiting myself to how many years I have been on medication. If that was the case, maybe I should do that with all my other, medications and stuff. But that does not equal to who I am. And, realizing this, I'm kind of looking back now, literally right now, to think, okay, this makes sense why I did this. This makes sense why I did this. And it's all just kind of been on the tip of my tongue. So I decided, like I said, that I'm done with these expectations of other people that I've unintentionally put on myself. I'm not counting my days anymore. I'm not celebrating anymore. I don't care. I don't care. I am who I am. It is what it is. And I am more than a number. And that kind of goes with stuff in medical care and society. I am an individual. I should not be held to how long I have been medically transitioning, or what surgeries I've had, or what's in my pants. It's just like, I don't owe it to anyone. And why am I making myself a prisoner feeling like that for containing myself in a box? So if you have felt this way, I feel like this is so random, but I have heard a couple people have also felt this way. Just know that you are 100% valid. I am not off hormones. After going back and forth, I decided not to. I have changed my method of doing it, and I'll get into that another day. But for now, I really just wanted to say that for me, myself personally, this is what I have been battling with for a really long time, and it's tough. It is really tough. But everyone's transition is different, and I just really hope that I'm not the only one feeling this way. But yeah, so if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe. I'm going to be having a lot of different content coming out, and I hope you have a great day.